When our sales team signs up a new client, they're going to book the first training call or the first setup call with a success coach. And they're going to book that generally with the client when they're on the phone at the end of the sales process. Now, this is going to be, based on the first availability in terms of day and time, both for them as well as yourself. Now, the first setup call is going to be booked by the sales rep using our Book Me application in Perfect Mind, our internal CRM. The sales rep will then prepare an email they're going to send to you that's going to include the client's information, their business information, and the key areas of setup. So their main objectives or priorities. If they want to be using billing, if they want to be using attendance, if they want to use the email app, if they're going to be using website. They will bullet point those priorities in this email. They're also going to include a screenshot of the confirmation screen of the booking of the setup. So this is an example of this below, right here. So in Book Me, when you have successfully booked an appointment, this is what they will see. Thank you for registering. And it will detail the owner. This is going to be this will be your name, the success coach, the day and the time. And they will paste that into the email to confirm. They're going to send the email to the entire team, which is training@championsway.com. In the subject line, it should say new client setup dash and then your name. Now, within that same business day, there are several tasks that need to be completed. The first thing is we need to generate their Perfect Mind database. We're going to send them a welcome email, welcome to Champions Way. And this welcome email will contain all the information they need for getting started, as well as access to support and training resources going forward. It will also detail the process for our data imports. We do offer one free import. This is going to be a CSV file, like an Excel sheet, that will import into the program. We also want to send them the billing application, Billing Direct. Depending on the country, there's a different application. There's USA and there's Canada. If they're going to be using Perfect Mind for any type of payment processing. The same day, you want to call the client, you want to welcome them to our company, confirm the appointment time, and just remind them of the importance of completing the billing application and submitting it back ASAP. Give them a time frame. Ask them if it would be reasonable for them to have it sent back within a day, and hopefully you can get that. The sooner that they can send back the billing application, the sooner they can be live for processing. In the US, their credit card processing can be live within 1 business day from when we submit it to the gateway. You'll create a work order in our internal CRM for account setup, new client, and then since the Perfect Mind database will be created, you're going to link the organization ID number on the account page in our internal CRM. So in terms of the first step, this is going to be creating their database. And this is going to be at live.perfectmind.com/signup. This is where we generate databases. For martial arts, it is going to be MA Simple. And then you want to make sure that the information is correct. So if the name of the business is Travis's Martial Arts, it must appear exactly the way it would. This is going to be most likely the owner. This is whoever made the purchase, because what you're generating here is not only the database, but it's also creating them a login. Unique domain. So this is going to be the Perfect Mind subdomain. This is their social site web address. It must be unique. What you want to use here is the closest thing to their website address. So if it's Travis's Martial Arts.com, that's their business website, then use Travis Martial Arts for the unique domain. Time zone is critical. It must be the correct one. So please pay attention to where they are and select the appropriate time zone. This will affect payment processing and scheduling and attendance records in Perfect Mind. Email. This must be an email address that you can access, because when you complete this page, it will send an email to that address that requires you to click on a link to confirm the registration, and it will actually activate the database and create it. So this email address can be, it definitely should be something you can access. You could use a personal, or if you want to use Mailinator, Mailinternet.com, it's just disposable email addresses, so you can create one right here. It can be anything, and then you're able to access the inbox right away. And you could use Mailinter if you want. It's disposable. You do not ever want to put the client's email address in here. The reason for this is that it will go to them and it will require you having to wait on them to activate the database. And if they don't get the email or don't reply or don't act on it, then you can't move forward with the administrative process in terms of getting the account set up. So please be very careful with this. Put in their website, something that they don't have to add to set up later on. The business phone number is what goes here. The how did you hear about us? Well, this is really this is a page that really our clients or prospects do not ever use, so you can just put other. It's really not important. And the password, we generally use welcome. All you have to check here is that you have read and agree to the Perfect Mind license agreement. Enter the code, and then sign up. Do a quick check before you click sign up. Make sure this email address is one you can access. So it now reads a confirmation email has been sent to your email address. So when I go to my inbox, there it is. I click on the email, and there it is. Congratulations, Travis Test. And then I click here to confirm the registration. This is now generating the database. This may take a minute or so. And once this database has been created, we're going to log in and we're going to replace the email address in both the organization part of the setup and also for the user account. So we'll be actually creating their username and password. It's important we replace the email address in there as well. And then once we have that, we can include this in our welcome email that we're going to send to the client. And once this process is complete, it will create a unique Perfect Mind organization ID number. So that's the ID number for this database. It's unique to that one. And then we'll be able to update the client's account in our internal CRM for this particular ID number. And this way we can track it, and we also know it gives us the ability to be able to access the database and log into it when we need. Support uses that frequently, and you will do the same. This should be completed momentarily, and then we'll proceed with logging in and making some changes. So I'm going to log in with the email address that I had used. And it navigates straight to the organization part of settings. And so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to replace the email address with the email address for the business, because this is, again, organization in settings. The next step is going to users. And clicking on this. And there's two things you're going to change. You're going to change the username. You can make this it's best to use an email address. An email address is unique. In this case, I'm just going to use a fake email address here. But it's generally you want to use the email address for the user, maybe their own or the one for the business. And then email address would be their email address. And the owner is going to be a global admin. So you can leave this profile alone. The owner can then create other, additional user accounts. And this is something you'll be covering in the training. Okay. So now I have their username, which I'm going to need because I will be sending this in the welcome email. And now I can log out. So there is a template for the welcome email. And this is what it looks like. Getting started. Congratulations for choosing the solution used successfully by thousands of business owners worldwide. Please review this carefully and save it for future reference, as it contains vital information for setting up Perfect Mind and essential resources for ongoing support. So this highlights some different components of the setup process and support going forward. Transfer of data. So again, we will do a data import for them. It needs to be submitted in a CSV format. And to expedite the process, it's very important that the Excel sheet is sent in a very particular format. And I don't mean just the file extension. In terms of the info, imports are going to go into a particular object. Generally, it's going to go to contacts. So each column is going to be imported into a field in Perfect Mind, a field that's on the object. So first name, last name, street address, city, state or province, zip or postal code, home phone, mobile phone or primary and secondary phone, email, birth date. These are their own individual fields in Perfect Mind. Therefore, they must have their own columns on the CSV file. Please communicate this to the client. And also they should specify what type of contacts these are. If they have separate sheets for active students, former students, or leads, then that should be indicated either on the sheet itself as a column that's labels or categorizes these contacts, or they could submit 3 different files, or whatever the number may be. This is the section that expands a little bit more on billing direct. It's a major hook, and it is the most critical and it's the most priority for the setup. So again, you want to reiterate repeatedly how important it is that they complete this and get it back. If they're a U.S. client, their credit card processing can be live within a business day. And the advantage there is you could be showing them how to process payments as early as the first call or even the second call. These links will then, these hyperlink to a page on our website, forums.championsway.com, that we keep updated. So they can access there, but I also recommend that you send a separate email for billing direct along with the welcome email. Your Perfect Mind login. So all they have to do is go to perfectmind.com and click login. So their username is the one that I have created when I generated the database. The password remains as welcome. This is a section that just expands on who you are, what your role is. So in coordinating their setup, this is a carefully designed roadmap that we have, this entire process on training our clients so they can implement Perfect Mind and use it to run their business successfully. It also expands on the process of training and how we're going to work with them to get this set up. Help and support. This is a very important part. And when you're speaking with the client, you're going to want to go over this in detail. How they can reach us by phone during the week. And these are toll-free numbers for North America, the UK, and Australia. They can also access support via live chat on our website, championsway.com, then click the support tab. They can email us at support@championsway.com. Lounge support, our lounge is on championsway.com, and they can simply click the lounge tab. They must be a member of our website in order to access this. Our Learning Center, our Help Center, has extensive training material, and they can access this by clicking the Help button in Perfect Mind, or they can hyperlink it right from here. We offer live open Q&A training Monday through Friday, 3 times per day, 10 a.m., 11 a.m., and 1 p.m. Pacific time. They can access that on our website. It's simply championsway.com, click support, and then click live training. And this is what it looks like on that page. It has the schedule and then the link. They click on this blue link here, and then they simply just enter as a guest. And there's a section that mentions that they can use hardware, barcode scanners, receipt printers, cash drawers, and credit card swipers that connect with Perfect Mind. This entire template is then put into an email. And this is the email that you will then send to your client. When you paste this into Outlook, which is what you'll be using, the images will show. The subject line of the email should be welcome to championsway.com. Or sorry, welcome to Champions Way, rather. And then, of course, you would send it to the client. The other email you're going to send is the Billing Direct application. And depending on the country that they are in, you'll send them the appropriate application, whether it's for US or for Canada. Now, the next step is updating their account. And there's a few things here. So when you're looking at their account, you want to make sure the information is correct. This is the phone number for the business. This is the email address for the business. Their website is correct. Their address is correct. And the software in use, if they're martial arts, it should be Perfect Mind Martial Arts 3. And then you want to log your activity. And depending on the length of time, this entire process from creating the database to sending the welcome email and logging the activity, if this entire process was, we'll say, about 14 minutes or so, then indicate the start time and the end time, and that will generate the duration of this activity. This was an outgoing email, and this is before we even entered the setup process, so this is the introduction. Something like a welcome email. The subject line is good. And then you can paste in the content here and do that for all emails that you log as an activity. And you would also log the email for sending the Billing Direct starter package or the Billing Direct application. The next step is work orders. Click the work orders tab and create at least one work order. The first one is going to be definitely for new clients. So we've got, as a template option, we've got Setup New. It will autofill the start date, and the work order stage is new, and then you save this. If they're going to be using Billing Direct and you've sent them the Billing Direct starter package, please create a work order for Billing Direct as well. And there is a template option here for that. And there, now it's done. The last step is linking the Perfect Mind org ID here on the account. Click on the lookup, and the most recent databases will be on top. So simply click on the ID number and then save it. After this process is done, contact your client by phone. Welcome them to Champions Way. Let them know that you're looking forward to working with them on getting Perfect Mind set up. And let them know that you've sent them both a welcome email and outlined the different sections of that email. Let them know that you've sent them the Billing Direct application and ask them to please complete the 2 forms and send back the required documents within 1 business day so we can get that set up for them right away, and they'll have their payment processing active within 1 business day. Again, that is for US clients only. These are the steps for new client registration. Please watch the other following videos that will cover the details of the setup and the training process.